you don't hope to need it. But if you ever do, you're going to be glad that you have it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I encourage folks to do that.
You need them FRTs though?
Oh, yeah. No. The FRTs is a luxury.
It's a definite luxury.
It's a luxury.
Yeah, but when they start coming to my house because they see I got the lights on in here and the fireplace is going.
Now you need that.
And then now I got a
crib.
wall of bodies to protect my house. Welcome to We the People podcast. I'm Shelton, gun enthusiast, beginner, competition shooter, and creator of the We the People. I'm joined by the crew.
All right, I'm Fred, the dad of the Survivor Sisters, We the People podcast, the sexiest father your mama find. It's a lot of things I can say about myself, but I'm gonna reserve myself for her.
Please do that. I'm Colin of Gunplay TV, competitive shooter, firearms enthusiast, professional fly guy. Y'all know who I am.
We getting sexier every time.
Come on, I've been there.
Y'all getting sexy.
Right. I'm Nick. I've been sexy. And I shoot a canic. You know what I mean? So I'm super sexy.
All right.
With that being said,
Canic, no.
welcome back. Welcome back to We the People podcast.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, we've been talking about some amazing topics, so let's jump into that, man. We got one today that people probably do not think about, but you probably should, because some circumstances have happened, like Snowmageddon. You weren't prepared, and so we're gonna talk about something today.
Well, hold on. Before we go any further, I want to shout out the merch.
Yeah,
I know y'all seeing
do that.
I know y'all seeing the merchandise, man. Make sure y'all check out WeThePeople.shop.
Yeah.
Again, we've got a lot of new designs. Some of what you're seeing here today is prototype, work in progress. So let us know down in the comments if there's colorways, designs. If you want to see beanies, hats, hoodies, let us know. We're gonna try to get you everything that you need, that you want, so that you can represent as one of the people.
Yes, sir. And some will be exclusive.
Oh yeah.
With that being said, let's talk about it.
All right.
Are you again? We always talk about preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared to leave, to go? What are you gonna grab? And so, Fred uses a term that I still don't even know what the hell it means. Go bag with bug out. What you?
Fred, he's a common. Tell him, Fred. He's a common term.
He's a common term for the world, y'all. Like, you got to understand. Like, say, bug out. If someone can be used interchangeably, like bug out, go bag, like those are the things. But the bug out bag is something that's going to sustain you for more than 72 hours.
Exactly.
Your get home bag, your day bag, it may be a 72-hour bag where you have enough to last you until you get home. Mm-hmm. So, just so as we're moving through this, they understand. Like I say, when we say the go bag or the get home bag, that's probably a 72-hour bag.
Right.
The bug out bag, that means you're probably not coming back.
Long term.
Right. Will it sustain you? Like you say, you got a lot of stuff in that bag. You got money, you got IDs, you got information.
Sustainment, food,
water purification,
right.
Tools. You got everything that you can carry.
Mm-hmm. So let's back up. I mean, now that we know what the term is, you mentioned Snowmageddon. Yep. I think that's at least for those of us that are in the Southeast, right? Yeah. That was a pretty. It was a heavy event. Mm-hmm. I was away at college at the time, even further south in Georgia, and we still had ice down there. And again, if you're in Georgia, ice throws everything off. So when I say Snowmageddon, I'm mentioning there was a snowstorm that hit Atlanta. I think this was 2013, and there were people, frankly, that were stuck on the interstate, 8-lane highway, for overnight, over a day in many of these cases, right? And so the go bag, the get home bag, the idea is to have those things that you need for such an inclement scenario, right? Now, it could be something as little as having a wool blanket and a propane heater, a means by which to keep yourself warm. And that would at least get you through the night until they can clear the roads. But the go bag, again, it goes much, much bigger than that. And of course, the get home bag is kind of the idea is to get you back to home base. We've got the rest of your supplies, and God forbid you need to actually bug out and sustain for longer periods. So the get home bag is in my truck at all times.
Your bug out bag is
at home.
And
you may even combine the two, right? And that's a way that I kind of encourage people to start, because a lot of the survival equipment, we talk about it all the time, right? A lot of this stuff may not happen. And I would say it's important to remember, right? This stuff can get expensive. And we always say on the channel, right? We're preparing, what are we preparing for? You may not be inclined to go out and spend thousands of dollars on equipment that you may never use. And so, my philosophy is that get home bag that I keep in my truck at all times. Once I do get home, and if God forbid I need to bug out, those supplies kind of come together. And some of those supplies may be with me at all times in the get home bag, and other supplies that are more long-term sustainment might stay at home. But I'm sure y'all have your thoughts on that.
All you guys have these bags?
No, man. I started a bag. One thing that I learned from the Snowmageddon, right? That because I was stuck in it for 18 hours.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. It was actually my birthday.
Damn.
Nice.
It was January 28th. And I was going to go to a concert, a Nipsey Hussle concert, and then he got canceled. I had to fill up 2 times because I was stuck for like 18 hours.
Gas.
Just crawling for that the whole time, burning heat and all
just
of that.
burning, right? And so one thing that I always try to do is make sure all the cars are gassed up. And I drive a big truck, so I can get home. I can travel through snow and all that stuff. So, but no, I don't have that because I got a family of 5, man, and it's hard to like really pack for a survival situation for all of them. Yeah, I'm just like I'm getting home. Like a friend of mine, he mentioned, I was like, yeah, and we were talking in Instagram, and he said it's getting real out here. You need to buy you some night vision goggles.
Buy you some night vision, man.
That's
do
crazy.
It.
But listen, if it gets real, I'm leaving the country. Like, I'm not going to fight. So when we talk about bug out, I'm looping it back in because when we talk about bug out, I'm not leaving my house. I'm getting to my house and I'm protecting my family. And if I have to leave, we are gone.
Well, see, now I would say
out of this country.
If things hit the fan, I mean, good luck getting a flight. But what you're saying though is you'd rather bug in than bug out. And I think that, like, Fred, I know you deal in the survival space. A lot of folks in that arena, we kind of flirt with the idea of just kind of going out, living off the land. I'm gonna get water from the creek. I'm gonna take a deer a week, and I'll live off of that. I mean, if you have the skill set, by all means. But I think in such a scenario, a lot of people would quickly find out that dysentery is a real thing. Cryptosporidium, all of these things will quickly take you out.
What was that?
It's a waterborne bacteria. So that this is part of why you've got to have proper water filtration and purification, because you can't just sip out the creek. You know, we're modern creatures. Our bodies and our immune systems are no longer tuned to that.
And deers are not just walking around ready for you to eat them.
Well, and people get confused, man. Listen, listen, people. When you talking about bugging out in the metro area, it's about 7 million people. Do you understand the wood's gonna be full of people trying to figure something out because they've never done it before?
Man, listen.
And let me tell you how dangerous it get when people get delusional about survival. You've never done it, and you're gonna be out here. No lights, no water. None of the cars are gonna be working. 285, 75, and 166 are gonna be on lockdown. You're gonna be trapped in here with all these people. You just better hope that you're close enough to home that you can make it. Number one is, like I said, before you go buy all this gear, go get some training. YouTube is educational, but it's not gonna give you the experience to use those tools. And if you don't use those tools, it's just like your guns. You're going to be out of luck when it's time to use it. You're going to default because the day that you get ready to use that tool, it's not going to work. 1 is none and 2 is 1.
Amen.
So you got to understand that. So 1 is none. If you have one of those things, it's none. Because on the day that you need to work, it's not going to work.
Right. You're right.
And 2 is redundancy. Yeah, and 2 is 1. How do you lighten your load? And you talking about a Bugout bag. I guess people probably saying, oh, that's a lot of stuff you might put in this bag. Every tool you have to have more than one use. If it does not, then you are really gonna be weighing yourself down. You're going to get with Nick and you're going to do a lot of push-ups and a lot of running. And you better hope on that day you're not sick. Because when you get ready to put that bag on, it's going to be the day that you are sick.
It's not going to be ideal circumstances. And you mentioned the city, man. I think about this all the time. I mean, I live outside the city now in kind of like a semi-rural suburban area. But if you live in a city like Atlanta, Chicago, New York, good luck even getting out. Right. And with this, the whole idea is to be prepared. Right. You know, you may be at work, you may be at the gym, and you may need to get home. That get home bag should have a spare pair of shoes, spare pair of socks, maybe weather or clothing that's fit for the weather. Again, you got to update these things as it gets cold, as it gets warm. You want to be able to get home, but you know, you could quickly find yourself in a situation, especially in these populated areas, where things get out of control quickly. And so it's just important it's best to check those boxes. And if you can get home safely, and get home to the rest of your family and to the rest of your supplies, to your point, Shelton, bugging in, especially in a situation like that, is going to be much more advantageous, because we got to realize, and this is what I tell people all the time, I'm sure you're familiar with the rule of 3.
Yeah.
Right. And what they say is we're about 3 days away from chaos, right? So 3 meals a day for 3 days, right? So imagine that your family, you got a family of 5, you weren't able to feed that family for 3 days, right? So now the question becomes, what would you do, or what wouldn't you do to make sure that you get food for your family? And everybody around you has the same mentality.
Yeah.
And so you can quickly see how infighting and a lack of preparedness can devolve into civil unrest.
And that's what people fail to realize when we're talking about survival. We eat, in America, we eat until we're full. You get what I'm saying? But when it's time for survival, you got to eat what's necessary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because one thing about it, everybody keep talking about carrying these big old rifles and doing all this fighting. You're not going to have the energy. All the energy that you have, you got to reserve to be able to be on the move.
Yep.
Because when you're not on the move, you are in danger of being taken advantage of. We live in Atlanta. We live in little square boxes, and everybody live beside each other. Any known structure can be taken. So if you go home, I don't care what kind of security system you got, what kind of gun you got, any known structure can be taken. You have a family, and your family's in there with you, and they don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to protect. They don't know how to keep the perimeter safe. You got to go to sleep at some point.
Amen.
I keep telling them wood soldiers.
But listen, I'm not going, let's just get back to it. I want you to explain to me why I should go out and fight.
Well, no, it's not necessarily fighting.
I got 2 refrigerators.
Right.
I got a deep freezer.
Power out.
And
Power's gone.
Okay.
and I got a generator on my buy list.
You run out of gas.
I need to buy with.
And once the gas goes out, the gas pumps ain't working. So that's the last bit of gas you got.
Sunlight.
If you got it, then God
I
bless
got a
it.
power generator with a solar.
Somebody got it.
Want it?
Okay.
But see, that's the beauty of a
somebody
solar
want it.
generator. Solar generators are quiet. The gas generator is going to make a lot of noise. So these are things you have to consider in a grid down scenario.
And then
But
what has to happen?
Yeah.
Who gonna come to my house?
Oh, a lot of people.
All my family.
like I said, after 3 days,
Everybody know how to
after
shoot
3
my
days, and
family
you're the
shoot.
only one on the block with lights on. Oh, they coming.
coming.
Yeah, they
They
coming.
coming.
Yeah, but I'm ready though.
You can be ready,
hope
but
so.
they ready too. Desperate people do desperate things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And my thing is, guess what? You talking about you ready? If I throw a Molotov on top of your house, you coming out.
You coming out. And listen, I would say
Coming out
this.
with that FR.
And that's fine. No, you're not. You grabbing.
But you got one mag. You got one mag.
You got one man. You grabbing. You grabbing kids, your dog, and everything.
And, and while I'm reloading, Khalil coming right behind me with the other one. Boom.
Now, listen, I would say like the fighting component is kind of secondary.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that you don't want to have to do, but you do want to be able to provide for your family. And you mentioned having a family of 5 or 4. It quickly inflates because you got to make sure that they have their supplies as well, and that they understand this plan. But I mean, we've talked about what a Bugout bag is, what a get home bag is. Fred, and I've got some ideas myself, but I mean, I'd be curious to hear from you.
Yeah.
What kind of things should people be considering to include in that bag, and what kind of contingencies and redundancies should they be making sure that they're checking off the list?
Yeah, I tell people all the time. Number one thing that I keep in my bag is activated charcoal.
Ooh, that's good.
You got to have activated charcoal.
good.
You got to have it. The main thing you got to understand too, what that is when you're talking about the water is going to be the biggest problem because. Yeah, we have running water now, but you got to understand once it starts to become still and nobody's manning it, even water that's in the pipe or in your toilets or whatever, it's gonna become toxic.
Very
so,
fast.
And understand that, like a lot of people watch YouTube and Instagram and all that kind of good stuff, and everybody ran out and got water. Those water straws. That is not water purification. That is water filtering.
Right.
It's not gonna get all the protozoa, the viruses and bacteria. It may help you filter it, just like your Brita does at home. But if you want to purify water, get you something that actually purifies water. We can definitely talk about that in one episode, but that's one thing. And then you need a nice fire starter. But understand you don't have to have it, but just understand if it flickers, it flames. If it flickers, I can start a fire.
Right.
And that's what people, you have to get that in your head because we live in an electronic world. Everything runs off some kind of battery, so it'll flicker. It'll make a flame.
Right.
You want to make sure that you have the appropriate clothing.
Yep.
And like I said, like he just said, we change it out with the seasons. When it get cold, I'm gonna put my winter clothes in the car because more than likely, like I said, when they're gonna be desperate people and they're gonna be doing desperate things, they're not gonna be thinking. Everything that's rational to you middle class people, It's not going to be practical for people who are already living in the struggle.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
They already got survival skills. You know. So you got to understand, we don't. We comfortable. And everybody say their kids going to be ready. No, you're not. You live in a climate controlled house. When that air goes off or that heat goes off, guess what? You coming out.
Yep.
Because it's going to be, if it's summertime in Georgia and it's 100 degrees outside, it's probably gonna be 120 inside.
It's gonna get bad fast,
and you coming out. Yeah. So you're not gonna be in that house. You may have a solar panel, you may have all that kind of stuff, but guess what? When people see you have it, they're gonna give other people who don't have it, and they're gonna take that risk.
Well, it sounds like you're describing as being poor, and I've been poor.
Yeah. Okay.
So
very good. Nick.
I've been in hot houses.
Yeah.
No gas, little to no food,
no power,
no running water.
I've been homeless for a little bit now. Y'all, for real. Yeah. But to your point, and I'm not joking about that.
Yeah.
I was in that car accident in Virginia in the snow, and ever since then, I created like a little bag.
Yeah.
Because I happened to have matches on me, and so we slid off an embankment. Everybody was safe, but started a little fire, kept us warm, and so now in my car I keep matches, something to start a fire. I always keep a blanket for that same reason, and typically I interchange water because again, like you said, it's going to be the first thing that you need. So I keep little small necessities, a pocket knife. I got a little axe, and so in my bag it's nothing crazy. I have 2 knives, 2 different forms of cutting something. 2 different forms of starting a fire. And typically a blanket or 2. And probably like a honey bun for your mama, but
right. I mean, what you said, other than the honey bun part, I very much agree with. You know, you have a lot of redundancy, right? 2 forms of everything. You know, I have a Nalgene that has a built-in filter. Now the filter is rated for a lot of the bacteria, so it's more than just filtration. It doesn't. It pulls some of the stuff out the water. I also keep iodine tablets. That's something cheap, something easy that you can keep to filter and clean that water. Multiple means of starting a fire. Things like gloves. You know, we talked about clothing. Something that's easily overlooked is shoes. What if you leave in a business meeting, you got on some Oxfords? You're not gonna hoof it in any, like that's gonna be a terrible. You want to have something that's gonna be comfortable, something that's equipped for the environment. And again, this thing should change with the season, right? I keep some muck boots in the roof. I got a hatchet. I've got a few forms of cutting and knives, multi-tools. And again, I swapped the clothing out.
Where are you guys going though? That's what I want to know.
For me, just driving around.
I mean,
exactly.
Where are you going with all this stuff? Like, you just trying to get home, or where are you going to go?
With the get home bag, is to get. So let's say, God forbid, Snowmageddon. You have to abandon your car. Let's say Snowmageddon 2 and it's worse, and you have to leave that car there. You got your family at home. You know the power's out there. They're waiting on you. You're the man of the house. You got to get back.
You got to get back.
Can you huff it? I mean, do you have a jacket that can keep that snow and that water off you so that you don't freeze? What about insulation? Spare socks. Socks are one of the things people overlook all the time. Have some wool, some merino wool socks. It's an excellent base layer. It's naturally wicking. It's naturally antimicrobial. It's not going to start smelling bad as quickly as cotton and things like that, and it's not going to retain as much of that moisture. There's a lot of. We can get very technical on this, but I would tell folks definitely look into wool, especially for the cooler seasons. Wool is one of the most miraculous natural materials.
Yes,
it's wicking. It's one of the few materials, probably one of the only natural materials that can keep you warm while wet.
Yes.
Get some wool, get a merino base layer, merino socks, and make sure that you have some type of, I would say at least a rain shell. I keep a rain shell in my car at all times.
You're getting out the car. That's what I'm saying.
But you don't.
What I'm saying. I'm not getting out the car. I got a full tank. I got backup gas in my thing. I got 500 miles. In my tank.
New Orleans happens.
Okay,
you're getting out of your car.
You're getting out of your car, bro.
You're getting out, and then there's gonna be people that want what you got. Like I say, desperate people gonna do desperate things.
I'm not worried about people.
Oh, okay.
No, you need to be.
Okay,
because people are your biggest. Because I just told you that the 3 days. The 3 days once you haven't had what you need to take care
all the time. I got a gun in my car. I got a gun
and so do they. But they see that you also have solar panels.
Yeah,
and they need those.
And you got people that hunt. Like you got people that they are true predators. My thing is if people leave a big signature. You're gonna be throwing trash away. You're gonna be pissing and duking everywhere.
Right.
You're gonna, and I know when you stop peeing, you're about to dehydrate. So guess what? Why would I fight you when I know you're 100%? I'm gonna wait till you dehydrate. If you can't drink the water, then why not just wait? Because I followed you for the last couple of hours and you hadn't used the bathroom. It's just a matter of time before you start to shut down.
Just think of it like this: if everybody's house is out of power and it's a cold winter morning, and your house is the only one with steam coming out the smokestack,
They're coming in there.
come on, bro.
But
I'm not worried about that, bro.
Think about
You should be. You're only one man.
I got shooters in my house.
Okay.
You do. But
Think about
And we got lots of bullets, and we got lots of guns, and we can kill lots of people.
all the bullets, all the guns.
All the bullets, all the guns, and we're not worried about those people.
You think about New Orleans in that flood, and you got to come out of your house and get to that dome, or you got to get to a safe place.
Yeah.
You think about North Carolina where it flooded. Anywhere where it's flooded and you got to come out of that house.
Correct.
And you got to get to the next safe place, wherever that may be.
Yep.
Now that's solar power, all that stuff. It don't matter.
And that's where the Bugout Bag comes into play.
Yeah, but my truck is. I've
The levees
through
broke.
mountains
Where you going?
before.
The levees broke.
Ideally, you can have your truck, but your truck in and of itself is just a vehicle.
Yeah.
What do you have to sustain? It may not be in the truck. It may be in that Bugout bag. But if you can take that bag to your truck with your family, you're that much better off.
And then think about everybody gonna have the same idea that you have. It's just like there's a wreck and everybody trying to go on the back roads.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna feel like I got the truck, I got this and I got that. You have to understand, creativity is a powerful thing.
Amen.
So my thing is like you may be in the house, but now I'm just gonna make it uncomfortable because any known structure can be taken. All I have to do is wait you out, regardless or not. You're coming out of the house.
Or the California fires.
Yeah, the fires is a good one.
Come out your house now
Because you're forced to.
All I would say is, me and my wife have an understanding that if we get a hint of some stuff about to happen, we outie.
But what kind of hint? What kind of hint are we talking about?
Yeah,
you did this when you said hint, man.
We got a hint. Like, we're going to Europe in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Next month. So I'm gonna just scope out some stuff. Just saying. So if we get a hint of something popping, we up out of here.
Okay.
We not finna play these games.
Fair enough.
I'm just telling you. I'm not finna fight with nobody. I'm not finna do all this stuff. I'll come back when everything's settled down.
Okay.
If you have the opportunity to.
I was gonna say, ideally, you're talking in a grid up scenario.
Yes.
You can get to the airport.
Yes.
Yeah, you might not even be able to get to the damn airport.
Yeah, I just thought about that too when he said that, because when it started hitting, and
it's over at that point. By the time you're thinking it,
the streets are gonna be flooded, the airport's gonna be
the
flooded,
store's gonna be empty.
Canceling flights.
And there's not gonna be no
an
flight.
airplane. That's what I need. I need an airplane.
Look at this guy.
You need a Boeing 747 to fly over the ocean. You can't do that in no Cessna. It's not happening.
And think about this. Think about this right here. If there's a disaster here, we're gonna be refugees in everybody else's country.
Absolutely.
They're not just let you run wild, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not just gonna come over here and just have your way. Oh, I'm an American.
No, they already don't like you.
Over with.
See, that's why I talk about getting dual citizenship.
Yeah.
For that reason, I ain't gonna tell you where.
I know where.
Hey,
we ain't gonna tell you where.
Yeah, I understand that.
We did a lot of scenarios, man, with disasters and stuff like that, where we had to like I said, we had to bug out, and it's a lot more difficult than you think. Like I said, I've done it with my kids. You know, and the thing about it is like I said, yes, I'm glad that they are, attentive to what I say. But like, if I try to do that with them now, being young adults, oh no.
Yeah, that stress is different.
Oh no, passengers get you killed because they gonna come with passengers.
Them boyfriends.
Passengers.
Yeah, and that's more mouths to feed. That's more water that you have to be able to account for. The bigger that group is, the more that you have to consider when you're putting these type of kids together.
I think that's the unfortunate part about, it's like our culture and people like us. Some people like us is you'll see one person preparing and training, but the family's not.
Nope.
Yeah,
their friends are not.
But they tell you, hey, when it happens, I'm coming to your house.
Right.
Please don't. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Please don't come to my house without water, without bullets, without radios, batteries. If you come into my house in a grid down scenario, please don't come empty-handed because we're just gonna die twice as fast.
Exactly.
I got enough for me.
I might take all your stuff and just.
And people don't understand. It's not. It's you are not going to get there. Like when it happens, that's it. Like we have bug out spots, north, south, east, and west, because you're not gonna move as fast as you think. Me walking from downtown Atlanta to my house, that's not a day in dodging people. Every time you engage a person, hey, survivability decreases.
They're gonna need something.
Oh, they're gonna need something.
He said we. You mean you, not us, not we. You ain't told us them bug out spots.
Because you didn't ask. Me.
I need to know about
we already on our own. We already on our own.
We got, hey man, we got cattle. We got food.
Just like that.
We've been doing this for years.
Oh, we was brothers, man.
We've been doing this. You didn't ask me.
No, you come to my house. I'm not gonna be there.
No, you're not.
That door's not gonna be answered
Because it's gonna be too much stress to maintain that in the city.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you, like people, we like this is still a selective group of people. Regardless, you're still better prepared than most people. There's some people right now, man, that really honestly, they're having a hard time. They have all the mind is made up. There are some people who have excellent skill because they just got out of prison. They know how to survive with nothing. You have not slept on an 1.5 inch mattress for the last 5 or 6 years. They have.
Well, Fred, because again,
okay,
the whole title of your company is Survival System.
Yes.
Give us your top 5 things that you need to put in that bag.
Make sure you have. I definitely tell people glow sticks, and then people say why glow sticks? Because the flashlights always fail you. Those glow sticks will last 12 hours regardless. You need to have some water purification, but you need some water in the car because purifying water is not an easy task. People think it is because you can go stick your straw in there. But one thing about the water purifier, if you go to a river or a lake, that's where people hunt at. Because all the animals go to the lake. All the people go to the lake.
All living things go to the water.
You know, one of my close friends, my brother, he's 7 Group Special Forces. And he'll tell you, when he was in Afghanistan, the most dangerous job they had was going to the lake or the water source because the animals were there, the terrorists were there, and they were there. You know what I'm saying? That's a threat. So you want to be able to keep moving and stay out of places where people are. Fire. Like you're not just being able to start a fire because a fire may give your location off. You need to have skill set. That's the number one thing because you may have to make a Dakota hole just so people can't see it.
I was just gonna
because
say
if they see it, guess what? People know you're trying to keep warm or you're trying to cook something.
So for those of y'all that don't know, a Dakota fire hole is a means by which you can make a fire enough to keep yourself warm, but it will give off less smoke, less signature to somebody that's out on the horizon that may have otherwise seen that flickering.
Exactly. It's like a L shape. It's a L shape that you make in the ground, maybe on a hill or something. Right. And that way you can kind of put your stove in there, and that way you can stay warm. And the smoke goes up, and it's not a flame. It's not going to really give off a lot. Right. And then people need to know how to really start fires in bundles so it won't smoke a whole lot. Don't burn green stuff. It's going to make white smoke. Yep. You know, you want to make sure you're doing that. But the glow sticks, they're going to provide you a lot of light. The water purifier is going to help, but have water with you too. Yeah. You know, the fire starter, you're going to need that. But if you're in a car, you know, you flickers it flames. But also too, you got to have a way to protect yourself. The gun is always that, but you also need a knife. You need one that's a utility knife that you can work with. And you know, the next thing is definitely going to be the proper clothing. Yeah. Because that day that you think you got it made, it's going to rain. If you've never had wet shoes, you don't know what miserable is. And if you don't have the right shoes and you have to walk, as anybody been in the military or had to do security or something like that, and they've had to walk for long periods of time, most people, y'all got nice shoes on. Y'all ain't never really walked in those shoes. You don't know what they gonna do. Yeah. But it gets real bad when you can't walk.
Yeah, it gets bad quick. And I mean, I made a post today just talking about, you know, cold weather gear, having the proper layers. And there's whole, you know, you can look into the PCU system, and there's a lot of stuff out there that you can look into to keep yourself layered. And, you know, if you're moving, you can take some of those layers off. If you're stationary or stagnant, place some of those layers on. But one of the biggest things I think is rain gear. You know, I mean, I like, personally, I'm a Gore-Tex dude. I love Gore-Tex. Yeah. Gore-Tex isn't always the best material, but people, I think, underestimate how fast you can perish to hypothermia. On the wrong day, if it rains and you are not able to make that fire and get warm quickly, you're done. Yeah.
Give us your top 5.
My top 5, I would say a lot of which I think would echo off of Fred's, right? Some form of means by which to create a fire, not only to keep warm, but to signal and also to cook food if you're fortunate enough to capture some. Water filtration and purification is going to be big. I would say tools, knives, hatchet. I keep a hatchet in the truck. That's a good one. I also keep a foldable, I think it's a Baco Laplander, a saw. You'll find that if you've ever been out in the woods and camped for extended periods, a saw sometimes uses a little less energy than hacking away with a hatchet. You can always baton wood with a knife. But again, those three, I think, those three forms of cutting rather are going to be very good. Clothing is going to be paramount. Have some spare shoes. Have, again, appropriate layers for the climate that you're in and the season that you're in. This is going to change if you're going to be traveling to a different region, so keep that in mind. And the fifth, I would say, maybe a wild card. You mentioned firearms. I would maybe include that with the tools section. I know all of us are probably going to have those anyway. But some form of, I think that wild card, I think for me would be kind of a modern creature and comfort. Some way to power your devices, provided that the grid is still up. Do you have a solar powered battery bank or a battery bank at all? What about radios, comms, things like that, right? That first world comfort, if it can still be leveraged in such a scenario, is gonna take you a long way, even if it's just listening for the National Weather Service to make an announcement as to when it's clear to leave the home or whatever threat has potentially cleared. So
exactly. And one thing I know, he was talking about the kids. One thing I learned, because making a fire is not easy as people think it is, especially if it's wet or whatever. One thing that I keep in my bag that's very important in the wintertime, I keep sterno cans.
Yep, me too. That's a good one.
Because those sterno cans, they heat up. Because like I said, every time you engage somebody, survivability goes down. But those sterno cans, like I said, they'll stay warm for a while. And especially if you have a emergency blanket, you can make you a kind of little shelter and keep you warm, because you're gonna have to stay warm when it's cold. Because if not, like you said, hypothermia it will creep up on you
quick.
Because this is Georgia, it'll be 90 degrees in the daytime and 35 at night. So you gotta really take heed to all that. As far as rain gear, I do have rain gear in the car, but if I know if I'm moving, I don't want to wear it. So I have a hazard for a poncho, soft shells, waterproof. But that way I can move quietly through these places and not make a lot of noise.
Yeah, that's an important consideration. A lot of the rain gear can be loud, and it's also, it's breathable Gore-Tex, and they have these are technical membranes that kind of supposed to let you respirate while keeping the water off you. But if you've ever been outside in any type of humidity or rainy situation, you're wearing that Gore-Tex and you're moving, you're going to be wet on the inside. Yeah. Right? And that's just as much of a threat, especially if it's cold out. That sweat against your body might as well just be rained on.
Exactly. And then in the safest time to move, man, is, like I said, late at night and when it's storming, when it's raining. That's time to move. That we can move faster then.
And moving at night once more. This is why I advocate for night vision. Again, you may not need it. It's a lot of fun. You can use it. Take your kids out, look at the stars, impress your girl. But in an inclement scenario, it's a superpower. Yeah. Right. Being able to move at nighttime like it's daytime when everybody else, especially in a grid down scenario when there's no street lights. If you've ever been out in the country and that sun goes down and there's no lights nearby, you know how dark it really gets. Yeah. That night vision is it's truly a game changer.
And people ask me why did I buy the PVS 14s over the PVS 31s or whatever. And those are night vision, guys.
Yeah, slow down.
Okay.
Listen, these are night vision models.
These night vision models, okay. But the PVS 14s, the PVS 14s are made like tanks.
It's a monocular. It's a single eye. Yeah.
But I have the dual too. But the reason why, because I got a lot of kids, so I couldn't afford night vision for all, the dual for everybody. So I got the 14s, so that way I can give each one. We got a couple. Yeah, I can break them off and give it to them. Because that was I have to think of ways to stretch the money, because you have all these people in your party. Yeah. So when you got people in your party, you got to figure out how to stretch that so everybody can benefit from it. Because like I said, it has to be one of those things where we're going to move. The glow sticks have definitely been something, because like I say, even if I got kids and I got the infrared, like if I miss something, I want you to jump in and get an example of it. But like the glow sticks, like if we were out and we do night vision stuff at night, a lot of times if we looking for kids, because everybody not going to have night vision. Yeah. But the thing about it is like I said, we'll cut one open and we'll put it on the kids or put it around the necks, so that way we can see them if they kind of stray off. Right. Have a string so that way they stay in line, so we can move at a constant pace. People say, well, why would you do that? It was a game that me and the kids played. It was something they could do, but at the same time, we're training.
It's effective.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And Shelton, so I'm curious to hear from you, right? Because we put a lot out there.
Yeah. You want to do my top 5?
No, I would love to hear what your top 5 is going to be. Because it sounds like you don't have one.
If it's not weather, if it's not a weather thing, keep you some money. Keep you some passports, and keep you a skill. that you can go anywhere and make some money with, and get about the country if it get real. That's what I'm saying.
You can't fit those in the bag, Shelton.
Yeah, but just stay light on your feet, just in case you got to move, and keep you a skill that you can always get paid wherever you go. It's going to be valuable. So that's my thing.
I tell people that all the time, man. I tell people get into day trading for that reason. Because like you said, the chances are, and again, we're a gun guy, so we're super what if people. Yeah. But a lot of people have been stuck in their cars. Like here in Atlanta, we went through Snowmageddon. And so natural disasters do happen, or a flat tire where you're in some obscure place. And now you're thinking like, man, I should have had this right here. And like Shelton says all the time, and you all say it all the time, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Amen.
And so some of these things are very simple with just roadside emergencies. And so you're probably looking at this like, man, what in the hell? I don't need all that. Roadside emergencies could have you stranded for 3 to 4 to 5 hours somewhere where you don't know where you are. And now you don't have your vest that you've been training in the woods for 16 days. You don't have your side holster and all your clips that you've been training with. And now you got to survive with your people.
Magazines. But
whoa, you said clips?
Yeah, he said clips. That's crazy. We're gonna clip that.
8 clips.
But I would say, I mean, to your point, Nick, I mean, a lot of us, we tend to romanticize the idea of this kind of bug out scenario, and this get home scenario, right? But realistically, we've all seen a natural disaster, whether that's COVID, whether that's Katrina, whether that's Snowmageddon, whether that's the power outage, I think floods in Texas a few years back, floods, etc. These are more realistic use cases. And the fact of the matter is, no, you don't ever want to have to use this set of supplies that you put in the back of your truck, right? It's like an insurance policy. You don't hope to need it, but if you ever do, you're gonna be glad that you have it. And so that's why I encourage folks to do that.
You need them FRTs though?
Oh, yeah. No. The FRTs is a luxury.
It's definitely a luxury.
It's a luxury.
But when they start coming to my house because they see I got the lights on in here and the fireplace is going.
Now you need that.
And then now I got a wall of bodies to protect my house.
But let me ask you a question though, man. I want to ask you this right here.
What's up?
And this is more realistic than anything that you imagine. Like we do a lot of traveling to go shoot. Like we travel distances. And I'm gonna get this to one of y'all. Y'all can pick it up. You are coming down the highway. You lose reception because some of those counties don't have 5G. And your car breaks down. For God, something happens. Now you got a choice. You can either walk down this road and go knock on old buddy's door and hope that he show kindness, or you can walk down the highway and try to get a signal and hope you get some help. But what would be more dangerous? Like walking to this person's. You walk to somebody who ain't never seen nobody look like you, and you walk up to their door.
I want the hot boy here to answer that question.
Yeah. So with my family.
It's just you. Your family's back in the wreck.
Back in the wreck. It's you.
What time of day is it?
It's night. It's nighttime.
11 p.m.
Nighttime.
11:30.
I break down. No reception.
No reception.
I'm not walking to no one's home.
So where you going?
I'm just walking, or I'm gonna stay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stay in my car.
So you just gonna post up?
I'm gonna stay in my car because I'm gonna have a gun on me.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna stay there all night until the sunlight comes up.
You still not gonna have any gas,
huh?
You still won't have any gas in the car. Someone have any
I got a gas tank in the back. I got.
Well, no, in this scenario, you're out of gas. The car broke down.
But what about the night prowlers?
The night prowlers?
Yeah, night prowlers. They see that nice truck that you drive and they pull up behind you and say, and they say to you, you need some help, boy? And I'm like, well, just get on out and let's see what you got going on.
Go ahead and pop the hood for me.
And then another truck pull up.
I said, I already got somebody coming. Don't worry about it. I got somebody coming.
Because I agree with you. Because you leave them 4 or 5 people you with and you come back to them and now they sitting bent over, tied up somewhere. You're gonna feel a certain way.
And see, that's another thing. So this is why I say, like, when you do these, when you put these kits together, if you are gonna walk, again, we talked about walking. You're gonna walk till you get a reception. How far is that? We don't know.
No, I'm not walking. I'm not walking. I'm staying in my car.
Yeah.
I'm staying right there.
Yeah.
And I'm staying up all night, and I wait till the sunlight come, and then I can walk around, and then I can go to the nearest person.
If you got your people with you, and you the strongest one, you can't walk away.
You don't want to leave that.
Yeah, you can't walk
protecting
away.
the family.
Do not leave your family.
If you dolo, now the fun begins. You go out there hiking and all the Army stuff that you've been training for.
You want to play? I'll play.
Yeah, now, hey, all the pretend stuff on IG you've been doing.
Hey, guess what? Come up and ask me if I want some help. And you gonna be in the back of my truck, and I'm gonna be driving your car home.
Shelton be going to jail. Like,
yeah, bro. Listen, don't take Shelton's advice. This is not legal advice.
Right, this ain't legal. We just regular guys.
Right,
this is only for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, we need a disclaimer at the front of this episode, boy.
No, but I think we covered again because a lot of these scenarios are going to happen with inclement weather.
Yeah.
Or your car breaks down
right.
and you're going to be stranded somewhere. And so the top fives of what we would have, including what Sheldon was, because I agree with that too. You always got to have a skill where you can get out of here and make some money online or somewhere else. And so I think we covered what you should have, and you should leave this conversation educated on, all right, let me go out there and prepare a little bit more. And so I can be prepared. And so, again, we always thank you for watching the episodes. And if I say anything, spread love, but stay dangerous. And so you guys with some clothing statements here.
Yeah. Man, listen, I would just say, again, preparedness is it's a slow journey. Don't feel compelled to, go out and buy everything all at once. Again, you may have a family of more than one. And, again, all these people need to be taken care of and provided for. So, do it in stride. Again, we're at a relative time of peace at the moment. There is no exigent circumstance to force you guys to go out and do these things immediately. So take your time, but think about the type of circumstances, natural disaster, this inclement pop tire in the middle of nowhere that you could be more prepared for. And then again, you may find yourself snowballing into more crazy contingencies, but all the same, those same tools, whether it's a pop tire on the side of the road or the power's out for 18 weeks, those same tools are going to get you that much further along and put you that much ahead of the next person who doesn't have them. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And I will honestly say the one thing you need to do is go get you some experiences in survival. Don't let your pride, your arrogance, and your ego tell you lies, because everybody say what they'll do until it's time to do it. Go and get those experiences now when you're comfortable doing it, because when your time and people depend on you, I promise you it's not going to work out that way.
Yeah, and I would say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
All right.
There you go. Amen. Amen to that. Subscribe, like, comment. We try to get to as many comments as we possibly can. We love talking to y'all in the comments, even arguing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially me.
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm active. So right, yeah, y'all feel free to add me, man. But right. I guess until next time.
Yeah.
Don't come for me.
To the next episode.
We the people.